The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you're treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. For a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. By acting regally and confident of your powers, you make yourself seem destined to wear a crown. Powerful people may be tempted to affect the common man aura, trying to create the illusion that they and their subjects or underlings are basically the same. But the people whom this false gesture is intended to impress will quickly see through it. They understand that they are not being given more power, that it only appears as if they shared in the powerful person's fate. Leaders who try to dissolve that distance through a false chumminess gradually lose their ability to inspire loyalty, fear, or love. Instead they elicit contempt. They are too uninspiring even to be worth the guillotine. The best they can do is simply vanish in the night as if they were never there. When Christopher Columbus was trying to find funding for his legendary voyages, many around him believed he came from the Italian aristocracy, a descendant from the legendary Roman general Colonius. An illustrious background indeed, but it was nothing more than illustrious fantasy, for Columbus was actually the son of Domenico Colombo, a weaver who held a wine shop and had made a living selling cheese. Columbus himself had created the myth of his noble background, for he felt that he had a kind of royalty in his blood, destined for greatness. Using the fabricated story of his noble background, he married into an established Lisbon family that had excellent connections with Portuguese royalty. Using his in-laws, he managed to have a meeting with the King of Portugal, whom he petitioned to finance a westward voyage aimed at discovering a shorter route to Asia, which he would do in the king's name. Demanding incredibly bold hereditary rights for himself, he shall be titled the Grand Admiral of the Oceanic Sea, the office of Viceroy over any lands he found, and 10% of the future commerce with such lands. Columbus made these demands even though he had previously been a mere merchant. He knew almost nothing about navigation, he could not work a quadrant, and he had never led a group of men. Although the king refused with a smile, he treated his demands as legitimate, leaving the door open for the future. By asking for the moon, he had instantly raised his own status, for the king assumed that unless a man who set such a high price on himself were mad, which Columbus did not appear to be, he must somehow be worth it. Unlike Columbus, here's what we generally tend to do. We set up boundaries that only get firmer with time, we come to expect less from the world, we accept limitations that are really self-imposed, and we bow and scrape and apologize for even the simplest of requests. We have to deliberately force ourselves in the opposite direction, downplay the failures and ignore the limitations, and make ourselves demand and expect as much as a child. This strategy of the crown is based on a simple chain of cause and effect. If we believe we are destined for great things, our belief will radiate outward. This outward radiance will infect the people around you, and your limits and boundaries disappear. You will be surprised how often it bears fruit, when you let yourself be overcome by your self-belief. Even while you know you are practicing a kind of deception on yourself, act like a king or queen, and you are likely to be treated as one. But please, whatever you do, don't act like a princess. We have enough of these. The difference of this strategy is that the crown may separate you from other people. It is up to you to make that separation real, and you have to act differently, demonstrating your distance from those around you. One way to emphasize your difference is to always act with dignity, no matter the circumstance. Do not confuse regal bearing with arrogance. It betrays insecurity. Greene mentions 3 strategies to reinforce a royal demeanor. First would be the Columbus strategy. Always make a bold demand, set your price high and do not waver. B. The David and Goliath strategy. In a dignified way, go after the highest person in the building. By choosing a great opponent, you create the appearance of greatness. This puts you on the same plane as the chief executive you are attacking. And lastly, C. The gift strategy. Give a gift of some sort to those above you. By giving your patron a gift, you are saying that the two of you are equal. It is the old con game of giving so that you can take. The gift strategy is subtle and brilliant because you do not beg. You ask for help in a dignified way that implies equality between two people, one of whom just happens to have more money. Remember that it is up to you to set your own price. Ask for less and that is just what you will get. Ask for more, however, and you send a signal that you are worth a king's ransom. Even those who turn you down respect you for your confidence, and that respect will eventually pay off in ways you cannot imagine. But obviously there's a risk of reversal to this. So be warned, the idea behind the assumption of regal confidence is to set yourself apart from other people. But if you take this too far, it will be your undoing. Never make the mistake of thinking that you elevate yourself by humiliating people. Also, it is never a good idea to loom too high above the crowd. You make an easy target, and there are times when an aristocratic pose is eminently dangerous. Finally, it is true that you can sometimes find some power through affecting a kind of earthy vulgarity, which will prove amusing by its extremeness, separating yourself from other people by appearing even more vulgar than they are. This game is dangerous. There will always be people more vulgar than you, and you will easily be replaced the following season by someone younger and worse. And that is it for this. Set your price high from the start and confidently own up to it. And as always, thanks for watching.